All right, to follow up on the last video, I had given the challenge to do a 3D platformer using just what we had learned in the last video. So I'm going to start with just a 3D scene, and we're just going to say same thing, world. Now, if we were to run this, let's select the current world. Oh, we have to save the current scene as world. Run this, select world. Now we can't really see anything, which is as expected. So right now we can see that there's preview sunlight and preview environment. And so this is, if we add in elements, we'll be able to see them from the perspective of the camera for the editor. So before we actually create our character, let's create a floor. So we're going to go node 3D and we're going to go static, or let's go static body 3D. And then we'll give that a shape, and we'll say collision shape 3D. And over here, we're going to give that a box shape. And so there's a nice box. So let's go, hold Alt, drag that over, drag this, oops, it's the height. There we go. Okay, so there's our box. And let's do a mesh. Do another box shape. We'll make that the same size. So let's see, what was our shape over here? So we'll just say 10 by 10. So then we'll go over here. We'll say 10 by 10. There. Okay, so there's our floor. And let's actually give this a material. So we'll just do new standard material. And then for shading or albedo, this is our color. We'll do another brown kind of color just because it's the ground. Oops. All right, there. We're going to call this ground. Okay, so now, again, if we run this game, we can't see anything. Number one, because we don't have a camera. So let's add in a camera 3D. And that gets put right at the origin, so that's a little bit annoying. We have to pull this up. And then you can see, if you look, the point to like this view frame thing. So we can see what the camera is looking at. So I'm gonna kind of drag this over here. And then, let's see, kind of tilt it. Let's actually tilt it down first, and then we'll spin it. Okay, so now we've got a camera on our scene, but even so, we can't really see anything because we don't have any light. So what's nice is, since we have this preview environment, we can just come over here and say add environment to scene. So now we have the world environment that we're seeing as this preview, and now we can kind of see what's going on over here. So as one more thing, I'm going to add light. Let's see, just an omni light. Let's see, directional light. Okay, so directional light from the sun. I'm going to put this up here, and I'll just put it way over there. Just have it like there. Pull it away. Okay, so now let's see how this looks. Okay, so now we have a light kind of from the side, and we've got our ground. I'm going to move the camera down just a little bit. Okay, cool. Now let's work on our character. So I'm going to make a new scene, and I'm going to do other node, and I'm going to say character body 3D. And again, we need a collider. So we'll do collision shape 3D. And we need a shape. So I'll do capsule shape 3D. And you can see now that it's in 3D, it's an actual capsule, kind of like a Tylenol or any other pill that's shaped like that. And then I'll do another mesh instance 3D, and we'll say that is a capsule as well. And we'll make that, we'll give it a material too. So new standard material. Get this in albedo, we'll again make it green, kind of like that. Okay, we'll say this is player. Name this player. Okay, and then if we add a script to it, create, and again we get kind of the standard script. But this time we actually get left, right, up, and down, so we get like 3D movement, and we also have the ability to jump. So we're not going to mess with that too much right now. We've already got the script. It's going to work pretty much the way we want it to. So now let's instantiate our child node, our player node. We're going to want it to be up, and then we can drag it maybe right there. And then, there. Okay, so now we can move around. Now the controls are a little bit kind of funny because the camera is offset relative to the direction of the player's movement. So what we can do instead, let's take this camera out and let's go to our player, and then let's see, let's add camera 3D. Okay, so we're going to pull that out, and we'll pull it up, and then kind of look down, maybe right about there. Okay, so now let's jump back in our world, see how this looks. Okay, so now we've got a camera that follows the player around. We don't have the ability to rotate right now, but in a real game we would want to be able to do that, probably. If it's a sort of 3D game like this. If we were doing like a 2D game in 3D, like using 3D models, then we might want it to be fixed like this and restrict the movement to only go left and right. But for right now, that looks pretty good. So we've pretty much done everything that we did in the 2D version. We have the character, we have the ability to move around, we have the ability to jump. And as you can see, the setup is pretty much exactly the same. The big differences are we had to add the world environment, and we had to add the camera. So otherwise, though, it's pretty much the same. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I hope you were able to do this on your own, but if not, I hope this helps show how I would do it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll cover some adding obstacles and goals, like end of level kind of you win conditions. So I look forward to seeing you there.